So great to see all the little ones, all the beautiful children. Thank you for bringing them. Thank you, beautiful ones, for coming out. We're going to have some song and dance here in just a little bit, but we're going to always start in a good way. I'm going to apologize from the get-go. I'm not Amos, so I apologize that I can't address you in Toa.
Oh yeah, the pumpkin's the best.
And I know that the language is alive and strong in this community. And I've been working here now for a little over a year and a half. My name is Justin Heeneman, so I want to say Yate Shakwasina Ado Shakedo Shadane Justin Key Heeneman Yinshia. Nan Stage Kachi Yinshin, Wishai Bashichin, Kabahan Dashache, Bilagan Dashanella. So that's my language. I'm from the Four Corners area of Arizona on Navajo, but I was born in Winslow, Arizona. Ever heard of that town? Ever stood on a corner there? But it has been such a blessing to come and work here in the Pueblo of Jemez, to get to know a lot of the families, the people, and to be able to just serve. I really have, my mother was a nurse in IHS and Gallup and Saley and Chinley, and my father was a teacher. And so I grew up really with a servant mentality, meaning my mom and dad always were there for the community. And sometimes when you're a kid growing up, we didn't have a lot. We didn't have a whole lot because my parents were always in the community giving back, doing things, and I'd be like, oh, why do we gotta go do this? Or why do we gotta do that? But all these years later, I find myself understanding what it means to be of service, even if I'm not of this community. So it's been a pleasure, and I thank you for allowing me into the community. And I oversee the Walatoa Visitor Center, the C-Store, the Walatoa Timber. That's part of a group of small companies under Jemez Enterprises that's owned by the Pueblo of Jemez. So all of this is 100% owned. It's a for-profit corporation, all of this. And so we work hard because our paycheck comes from the revenue that we produce. So we rely on visitors and guests and all of that to come and visit and to buy the pottery and the jewelry and all of the good stuff, to buy chimichanga from the C-Store, all of those good things. So, but we're fortunate to have the leadership of the Pueblo here today. And so, and we actually have the governor and both lieutenants. But I'm going to turn it over and ask the Governor Loretto, to say a few welcome words and open us up in a good way with the prayer today. So, Governor.
First of all, thank you for all the people that have taken the time to join us here today on this beautiful event here. Disclosing and showing the mural that has been in back of us, the work that has been done. But he also brought us here together in this beautiful setting that we have up here to look at the red rocks and look at all the beauty and all the kids. But I also want to recognize, before I do anything, our Kasiki is here to join us here today too. Arlen, our Kasiki head man, thank you for coming up. And I also saw Stuart Gottlieb is also here from that society, and other spiritual leaders that are here today. I want to acknowledge that. Second, I want to acknowledge our chair of the Famous Enterprise Board, Ms. Charlotte Garcia. She has years and years and years of work trying to get our economic development on the ground. And along with that, I also see Ron Toya, who's a part of it, the Enterprise Board, and also, I know John's kind of hiding in the corner. John Galvan, he's also our tribal member. And Dave Nelson also hiding behind the pole. So how many other board members have I? Anybody else other than that? Okay. So these are the guys that are working on behalf of the other enterprise. Justin just told you they're running the store, visitor center, all the filler fingers that we got. What else am I missing? There's 3 areas.
Just the 3.
Yeah. So hopefully these developments will be encouraged to move forward, and hopefully that we will all begin to work together to increase hopefully the economic development that can come into our little community here, and we appreciate you all being here today. So with that, I'm gonna start the event, and I'm also gonna introduce my first lieutenant governor, Dominic Gotchapin. This is my second time with him on leadership together, and our second lieutenant governor, Vincent Toya. I'm very proud to say that he's a good add-on with good talent and good visions, and a lot of support. And so the 3 of us, we sit down and we talk, and we coordinate meetings together to make sure that everybody's informed in terms of how we need to do things and how we need to move forward. So, yeah. With that, is everything okay there? Okay, thumbs up. So with that, I'm gonna do our traditional prayers to focus in on the work that has been done, and thank the people that have put the work in, and also to ask the creators and the people that gone before us to join us today, and hopefully that with their strength and their wisdom and the knowledge that we get from them, that we continue to move forward, all of us move in the right direction, all the way from our kids over here. So with that, I'm not bombing. Aquí voy a decir todo se de todo lo que hice, me mucho que se todo el mundo todo el cano de que fui que le había para la night. Lo sé que igual que todo lo que ya todo lo montón de ahorita que todo lo poco aquí poco que people hombre que se fue a que no quiere que voy para ahí o lugar para ver eso de que lo más que va que para la night ahorita o lo que no sé poco Qualche buona e vuole, o lo poco qui qualche tanto di quello che hanno detto te cose, o lo osco, o quando qui e quando non trovare. Allora poi io voglio che poi qui o lo qui e qua e qui e qua o le chia. Stavo parlando di noi per quello qui che un giorno per quello qui che un giorno per quello qui e qua non trovare. Parlando di noi qua che non sta, non è Yang decide your mouth to tell them again, look in the book, for the look at that, or look at that toy she ate in, or the door, look in the patrol, or look at, or look at that water meeting, or look where your water kill. We get that, because I look at your new, the fellow in that clear, far months away, on look at, or look for, or look your name, or can decide your. O bolo o leita, o te yo joy ko que decide o no se o we on din da mua ko ka ta lo we ki on me no ke te ko ne o no ku pa la le na lo ta o ta we lo te so le ka ko ki ta ke ho ki on o lo ho yo se ko on din ko we ki ta ka lo pe ta ko ko o ka ta lo ne ko ki I låter nu, för alla hon dina kalsarna är på något där. Och då sker hon in på faken, hon är hon kunde där. Och då ja, då vill hon få hon kan på faken tanten i hase. Och då vet jag och då det är kvar läsen i kitta på que jag ser torta vad ser det. Då går på kalsarna och där håller på det. Och där och då höjer sig kvar jag säger. Ottei no peta tawatami to le ili ta da wa o kwa isesi le da mo dogo mo kola su le kwa ki fu ki ta ki fu mo ba to te kola su le da to I wai tan o lo bolo kwa ki te le to o da bo o ki o te le mo I jo do mo kwa no mo da kwa lo ku chi te kwa ke ba le se to se de ye E no, se li muove molto, ma adesso te che li porti qui, che stava da, lo dice, qui c'è le already know the quick you know the pain and the next thing that with that. Although we get the pocket, but then by the toy, so I said, they cannot, they know, the children, boy, for the sheep by it.
No.
Thank you, governors. Appreciate that. Well, we're getting closer to the unveil. I know there are folks, come on in. We saved you a couple of hot seats. I know shade is limited. Shade is limited. Again, my name is Justin, and he beat me to it, so I'm glad he introduced the board, and I'm glad to see you all here. Thank you for coming. These are my bosses, so I have to act right. Well, I'm going to introduce the artist here, and some of you remember that this building was a little bit different color. So about a year ago, the Pueblo came to me and said, "Oh, we're gonna re-stucco the building. It was starting to crack. It had shown its years, and so we went ahead and they got a small grant to re-stucco the building, which was good news. Unfortunately, there was really no money in the budget to save the mural, and so they stuccoed over the mural. If you remember, there was a mural here. Well, I felt bad, and so before we stuccoed over it, I reached out to the artist, and I said, I don't know if you know this, but unfortunately, your mural is going to be stuccoed over, and we're going to lose it. And I felt bad, and I didn't know what to expect from him. And he said, "That's okay. We can do another one." And so that made me feel better because I didn't know what we were going to do with this large wall. And he said, "Let me think about it. Let me think about it, and I'll come up with an idea." And this was right in the middle of COVID, and we couldn't use this space, and we were closed, and you know the whole story. We were all shut down, and it was a kind of a depressing period that we couldn't gather and sing and convene and do all those things. So today really is a celebration. Like, we've been coming out. You know, you've been doing more ceremonies and gatherings. Slowly we're reclaiming those strengths and those ways that we do for thousands of years. And so this is just another little form of celebration. So we hadn't seen each other for a while. And one of the things I mentioned when I first came was the fact that during COVID, even all last year, no hummingbirds came. And I remember this place, there was lots of hummingbirds. And there was no hummingbirds all last summer. And I'd come to work and it was quiet, and come out here and by myself, and no hummingbirds. So I mentioned that to the artist I'll introduce here, and so he thought about it, and then the day came when he said, okay, he came with his design. He said, I've been thinking about this, had some dreams about it. So we sat over there, and he brought a little piece of paper, and he said, this is what I'm thinking. So he sat down, and I kid you not, for the first time, this was about 6 months ago, maybe a little longer, and we were talking, and a hummingbird came right there, right over my shoulder. You know how they zip around. Then it went over to him, went over, just one, and it took off. And then he showed me the design, and I was like, wow, that is so cool. So then the process began, and him and a few of his assistants started painting. And on a given day where, well, you can see one right there, there'll be dozens in here, flying around, feeding, teasing me, coming at me, making me scared. But it's been back, they came back. All through this mural, they'll buzz up to them while they're painting and all of that. So it was awesome to see them come back, those little relatives, and I think it inspired our artists. And this gentleman has been awesome to work with. He's a known artist from your community, and I'm so glad that 20 years later, after that first mural he did, he came back, and we have a new mural coming out of all of this stuff we went through. So I want to introduce my new friend, John Fitzgerald Toya.
Thank you, Justin. I truly appreciate the intro. First of all, I have to thank the governors for attending. Truly appreciate that because it brings me warmth, for your strength to be here. Our caciques and the head starters, because they are our future, as we know, all the kids. And I especially want to thank my mother who is attending this event. She's 95 and she'll be turning 96 in February. So it brings me great pleasure to still have my strength that supports me in all that I do. So just like Justin said, he really didn't tell you what I said when he told me that the mural was going to go down. So, but I won't repeat that. But anyhow, but I did tell him that, don't worry, we'll get it done, and I'll bring some a sample up here and show you. Well, I took a little bit of my time, so he called me, and so then I told him, don't worry about it, we'll get it done. So came back up here and showed him. He told the story, and so we finally got to start about a month or so ago. And so when we were going to start this, I didn't realize that I had forgotten to tell him that this area that the painting was supposed to go up was supposed to be a little smoother than what we have going. So it was even that much more difficult for us to work, on the wall this time around because it was a little coarser than before. And so a little bit of background about myself. John Fitzgerald Toya, and I started my art, through my teacher, who is my mom, Martha. And during the course of my years, earlier years, I was a dental technician for 22 years here I served here in Jemez. And after I left here, and then I started traveling out in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania for an art education and cultural program. It was a one-year residency, but it took, I had traveled back and forth for 16 years. And so here I am today, a part of this event, to show the mural that I put up here. And it was actually really painstaking, like I said, because if you use a regular art, brush, and put it on a rough wall like this, then when you work on it, the bristles will spread out like this. So there's no way that you are going to be able to make a full, straight line, and you would do the best you can. But then thank God for brushes like these. This is like a sponge brush. And believe it or not, the more detailed areas that you're going to see in a little bit was done by, one of these sponge brushes that I would dab. Every dab that I did, and it was just and when I started it, I thought, oh my God, what did I get myself into? And so, but anyhow, we were able to get this done. Thank God, I was able to get assistant. My nephews, Dalvin and his son, Riley, were able to come up and help me, with the work. I sketched it out, and we would do the outlining, and then we would do the broader surfaces, and that's how we got it done. So, but anyway, we're here today, and so the event is going to start. We're going to have an opening ceremony. We're going to have an opening prayer song first, and then we will reveal the painting, and then I will then describe and let you know what the meaning of the designs and artwork is. So I have my brother Lawrence and his two sons. My brother Lawrence, his older son Glendon, my nephew Glendon Toya, his son Dalvin, my nephew, and Dalvin's son Riley. And so they're going to do a welcoming song for all of you. So everybody knows this group. I now introduce you to the Cloud Eagle Singers. Okay, so at this time, we are now going to unveil the mural. And so everybody, in your participation, will count to 3. Okay, everybody? We come. So this is the mural that came about this time around, and so we wanted to keep the backdrop a little dark.
No, right there. All right. Yeah, it's beautiful.
These guys are the ones that help me out. So this is Dalvin and his son Riley. So before we have continued performances, but before we go on, I would like to explain to you the meaning of the mural. Okay. The mural is symbolic in so many ways. As we know that the colors selected here are primary colors that are used in our traditional ceremonies, and especially as an artist, I use these colors quite often. The yellow represents pumpkins, and the turquoise, of course, represents the turquoise. And I wanted to represent the two moieties. It is important to us here in the Pueblo that those are our two major groups, and I wanted to make sure that, you know, like these are represented well here. The feathers that are standing and pointing up on either side, those are prayers ascending, a representation of prayers ascending. And then the I'll go over here where the corn is at. The corn is representing livelihood, and the corn in it, the yellow corn is representing north, turquoise, west, red, south, and east is white. The plant right in the middle of the pottery and the corn is a representation of our medicine. You know, because it is important that we, here in the Pueblo, we have never been, you know, like any other, but we've always stayed green. And now a lot of people, you know, like are talking about, you know, going green, but we never left green. We've always had green, and that was very important to us because we have our own medicine. Even though if somebody may end up in the hospital, even the doctors would suggest, you know, like go back home, ask for medicine. And guess what? It does help us. Thank God for that. The center is the pottery, and you know, like this is symbolic because we have a lot of artisans here in the Pueblo, like myself and my family, and many of you out there that do pottery. So that represents that, and it also represents, you know, like potteries that are being used in different societies. for purposes. I'll get to that when I go around. The monarch butterflies and also the hummingbirds are the symbol of fertility and pollination to enhance the beauty of nature, and it is also considered to be messengers. The four directions are also represented in the hummingbirds, just as well as it would be in the wheel over here, the seasonal changes, and that would be from my perspective as an artist. The two lines represented on the sides, up here going up, are the yellow and the turquoise. There are prayers in progress, and also the little white steps on the center on either side are also weather in progress. So need that was the juice because it went down and so it show you the low man. So do that one the because that could be kill them all. That could hang out it show you solid a low man. So that could do that could pay it. And then we're going to do a little exercises because that would be the only way that you would understand, like they could be a start of a rainbow on the sides. But if you would join in on my exercise, participate, stretch your hands out, your arms out, with your hand open, just like how I'm doing. And when you grab something, you intend to grab this way. When you grab something, that is the symbol of your hands grasping for, your prayers on either side. The sun is the colors of the seasonal changes of winter, spring, summer, and fall as well. And then the designs in the butterflies are also like the seasonal changes as well. Over here, this is the evergreen, and this is the symbol of our tradition. And so if you notice that these are sort of like kind of hidden, but if you take a good look at it, I have a monarch hummingbird up here, and I do have one over here in the corner. For me, the monarch hummingbird is a great symbol because when I did the first mural, when you remember, I did the motifs of the universe. And so I go back, the opening part, like the clouds, that would be the clouds. And then, of course, we always pray for rain, and this is rain coming in, and it'll make us medicine, for us to drink. And so also, again, to nourish us, to quench our thirst in that way. So these here are symbol of growth, the red, and the dark, the maroon is the earth. And so these are the Kiva steps, of course, that the Kivas we go into, we do our ceremonies, we do our prayers, and that's the whole idea that was brought into this. The opening is to, I on purposely had not connected these lines because I believe that when you connect something, that would be the end of anything. Everything and anything that you do, it ends there. We want for our life to be continuous, and that's why that is open, and also to have, like our, I want to make sure I've written down in here, so. Yeah, so the top opening is to let through the natural wonders of the universe come and enter to bestow our blessings. So there you have it. This is the mural that we have come up with for all of you to enjoy. Come up here for your wedding ceremonies, your pictures, your graduation pictures, whatever. This will make a good backdrop. You're more than welcome to come anytime because that's what the staff here says. And like you can use like the portal over here to sit around and enjoy your lunch. I especially wanted to thank the board, for allowing this to happen. I truly appreciate that. It means a lot to me, and it means a lot to all of you now that we have it open. And I truly, truly, from the deepest, from the bottom of our hearts, for those of us that were up here, to thank your staff, Justin, and they were awesome. Each and every day, they welcomed us with open arms. They really did. They made you feel welcome. They respected you, they honored you, and you know, there's no words to describe, you know, like how great it was to come to work up here.
No.
So I wanted to thank you for that. So give them a good raise. But anyway, really, you guys were wonderful. So I don't want to, you know, hold anymore, and so we're going to go right into the performances again.
Thank you all.
Oh, by the way, the mural's title is just simply Blessings.
There's some more.
All right.
forgot to share with you was that towards the last day, really big butterfly came, the number 8 across here, and it landed on the butterfly computer. And that just told me that was going to be the end of that would be the finished product. So I truly thank you, each and every one of you, for attending this event, and I truly appreciate you being here. And there's more treats up here. You guys need more, so please, feel welcome.
Thank you all for watching.
Have a good day.
Oh, he went